Hi everybody, it's Phil Smyth and welcome back to my in-depth reviews of Tai Lopez's Business Entrepreneurship Accelerator program. I think that's what it's called. We're all the way up to step number 10, but remember that this is another 67-step marathon, so I hope you're hydrated and ready for the trip. Step number 10 is one of those ones that we've kind of been waiting for because it actually seems to be something that Tai knows about properly. He's actually doing it. And that is the foundation of your social media strategy. The episode, step, whatever you want to call it, of Tai's starts out with him saying, oh, you know, one night he was out with Gary Vaynerchuk. Who's this? If you don't know who Gary Vaynerchuk is, you're probably in the wrong business because he kind of defined this kind of obsessive social media usage, and you know, he's a pioneer, and now of course he's got like a $50 million media company where he consults with high value brands on how to destroy the thing that he created, like social media. So but that's it. Tai says, well, he was out with Gary Vaynerchuk and nothing happens there. That anecdote literally goes nowhere. There's no pearls of wisdom from that. Tai talks about what he says to Gary, which is not really what we wanted to hear. So let's move on. But we did get a little nugget of Tai's experience and in history, you know, that he was in the nightclub business and was successful in the nightclub business. So that's interesting. So we finally find out something about Tai Lopez, other than the fact he worked for GE Capital 16 years ago. But we know that Tai is good at this social media, or he's very good at buying and targeting ads. We'll say that much for him. And so it's when he says he's going to talk about his social media strategy, we listen. And he talks about not having a strategy tied to a specific platform, but just having a kind of philosophy of social media. And that's what this is about. And, you know, he talks a little bit about, you know, how social media and virality can, you know, cut your advertising expenses. Yeah, we know all that. We don't want to talk, and he says he has some friend who makes $500,000 a month in sales from Instagram. Okay, we know, that's fine. Tell us what we need to know about mastering social media. And he talks about, you know, this interesting concept he has about a lot of things. He says, figure out first what doesn't work. And he says, or in this case, what's not important. And he says, don't think that by posting you'll get followers. And he has a very good analogy here. Is that's like saying, you know, it's your strategy for living is to eat. Well, I mean, of course you have to eat to live. It's a basic. So, you know, even posting consistently, of course a schedule is better, like eating on a schedule is better, but your posting will not get you followers. That's a given that you have to do it. Like breathing. And the other thing is, don't quote others. And I went and I looked at Tai's Twitter feed, for instance, and it's absolutely true. He rarely even reposts, you know, and maybe that's partly ego, but I think partly is because of what we're going to get to in a second, which is the value of this lesson. So, funnily enough, value. Because quoting others does not give value. You know, quotes are a dime a dozen on the internet. You know, you can go to Goodreads and get the real quotes from the real books, or you can go to any Twitter feed, any Instagram feed, any Facebook feed, and get quotes galore. So quoting and reposting is not going to get you anything. So what is going to get you something? And this is where he talks about VRIN. Now, VRIN is we talk a little bit about that, like in MBA courses or marketing strategy courses. It's a marketing concept, and VRIN stands for, it's V-R-I-N, in case you don't understand my pronunciation. And the valuable, rare, inimitable, and non-sustainable. And you should be shooting for a high VRIN score on everything you put on social media. And what do we mean by that? It's valuable means it's something that gives something to the reader. You know, so valuable is rare. You know, this is why quotes aren't so great. Quotes are not rare. Reposting is not rare. Inimitable. Could somebody else create the same kind of post? And if so, then why you? And non-sustainable. You know, could non-substitutable. Did I say sustainable before? I meant substitutable. I'm not going to re-record this, so apologies. Non-substitutable. That means people can't get this from somewhere else, either another social media feed or even off social. And Tai has a good example for this, and that is his posting of him with Arnold Schwarzenegger. Now you could argue what value is there, but he does put in some information he got from the man himself, you know, so that's a little bit of value there, some quote on success from Arnie. Is it rare? Yes, because it's Tai doing it himself. Is it inimitable? Could someone else post it? No, because it's him and Schwarzenegger and a quote that he got from Schwarzenegger directly, supposedly. Is it substitutable? No. The only place you could get that information is from Tai's feed. Now, is a picture of Tai Lopez with a quote of, you know, and Arnold Schwarzenegger worth much? No, it's not worth much. But it's something you can't get somewhere else, you know? If you look at television shows, for instance, television shows that are inimitable, you know, or are unique and substitutable, there's not something doing exactly that. Those shows have great success, and they normally get way out ahead of other people before somebody comes in with competitors, you know, if you look at like Breaking Bad. So that's the VRIN, the value, the rare, the inimitable, and non-substitutable. So every post you make, look at it and say, what's my VRIN score on this, you know? And post only if it's high VRIN, you know? And Tai talks about saying give each of the 4 0 to 10 score, you know, and if you're not averaging 6 at least, 7 preferably, or 8, whatever, 7 across those 4 things, then why are you posting it? Because it's just noise, you know? And so I think that the reason people don't like to hear this message is because it's not a formula. And this is, you know, people get on Tai Lopez, and maybe I'm going to go a bit long on this because, you know, people do get on Tai and say he's a, you know, scam artist or this or that. But this is something, he's not talking formula, because formulas, quite frankly, don't work. As soon as you're following a formula, you're doing something that everybody else is doing. And why are you doing it? Because people can get that information from everyone else. You know what? If you're a yoga teacher posting yoga pictures and yoga quotes from somewhere else, what's unique about that? You know, so Tai is talking about a philosophy that I think is really important to mastering social media, that and spending lots of money on ads. You know, this VRIN idea, if you learn nothing else from this course, and it's quite possible you won't learn anything else in this course, learn this. Go for high VRIN scores on your social media. Whew, I got a bit excited there. So let's get down to his questions. Questions are not so good. Question number 1, what's an example of you did something on social media when and you thought it would work and it didn't because it was low VRIN. Question number 2 is, what's the best thing you've ever seen on social media feeds? And I saw, for instance, today a Chihuahua wearing a biker's outfit. Not the best thing I've ever seen, but good nonetheless. Number 3 is, what's something you could post from in your niche or your area of expertise that has high VRIN? and focus on that. Anyway, that's it for step number 10. It's a good one, I think. It should get you fired up with ideas about how to kind of make more impact on your social media. And social media is terribly, terribly important if you don't already know. So I'm Phil Smythe. This is my in-depth review of the Tai Lopez Business Accelerator program. And we'll see you very soon. Step number 11 coming up.